So it's 6:05 a.m. What a beautiful time to calibrate.
Welcome. I am the running Otaku.
So tomorrow's a really big day. It's a day that I get to go out and measure the Otaku circuit. The circuit is a course I devised of approximately 10 kilometers or so that will serve as the torture test for GPS devices. Now, what makes this really challenging is there's 4 difficult sections for GPS devices. The first of which I call Electric Avenue. It's a 200-meter stretch under an overpass, and the sky is mostly blocked, so we'll see how well the devices can maintain satellite lock in those conditions. The second section is known as Trailblazer, and it's a heavily forested, single-track, fairly technical trail here in the Portland area. The third section is in a suburban setting, but what makes this interesting is that it's downhill. In fact, it's very downhill. The average gradient is minus 20%. And since GPS devices measure latitude and longitude and record them, I want to see how well they do in this third dimension. And because it's so steep, it's called Black Diamond. The last challenge is known as Downtown Blocks, and this is a kilometer or so around and through some of the tallest buildings in the downtown Portland area. It's devised to see how well these devices handle the concrete jungle valleys of downtown environments. In addition to that, there's many other kilometers through, general suburban setting along the Willamette River and across bridges to add more of a real-world feel. So you're probably wondering how I'm going to measure accurately such a complicated course. Well, funny you should ask. I'm not sure if you asked, but let's just say you did. Anyways, in the show notes, I will link to an article I wrote giving a detailed description. But basically, I'm going to be using a bicycle and a Jones counter. Yes. You guessed it, this is a Jones counter. It's a pretty simple piece of equipment. It's actually just really a gear with a little doohickey on it. And so when you're riding a bicycle, this engages one of the spokes on the front wheel, and it spins a course, and then the numbers count up. Now this thing is made out of stainless steel, so it's actually quite solid. However, temperature can expand or contract metal a little bit if it's extreme. So that's why before each course measurement, I calibrate this. And the way I do that is I find a course that I measured, a straight course of about 1,000 meters, and then I write it a few times and count the numbers here and make sure they're all within a very small percentage error, like 1/10 of a percent or so. Then I'll go ahead and measure the course. And then I come back afterwards and I retest this on that known course just to make sure that the calibration is still about the same. And if it is, I know I've got an accurate measurement. So I'm by no means a bike guy. In fact, this is my primary means of transportation when my wife has the car. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to show you how to put the Jones counter on the bike. How'd I do? And that's just about it. All that's left to do is tomorrow morning, I'll pump up the tires to the proper pressure, do the calibration as I described, then I'll go and measure the Otaku circuit 4 times, make sure I've got a good measurement, and we're good to go.